After years of anticipation and delays, Halo has finally made its way to our TV screens on Paramount+. However, even though the new series has broken viewing records for the streaming platform, fans aren't super happy with this adaptation of the iconic video game franchise. But why is the new take on Halo so disappointing despite its high budget? First up, Halo feels like any other generic sci-fi show. Halo is one of the most iconic and successful video game franchises ever made, with a long history that spans over 20 years. The series transformed first-person shooter games as we know them today, so saying that it has been influential would be an understatement. Naturally, the fans were pretty excited to see Master Chief don his Mjolnir armor on TV as well, but after the show finally premiered, the initial reactions weren't quite what the showrunners would have wanted. The show got pretty lukewarm reviews across the board, with most people saying that it just did not feel like Halo. Many even went as far as to say that they should have just called it something else entirely. Of course, while a lot of these takes are emotionally charged, there's some truth to the criticism too. You see, the Halo TV show does a pretty decent job of portraying the Spartans visually with their bulky armors and enhanced combat abilities, but things start to fall apart whenever they're taken out of these combat situations. Some core characters of the franchise like Dr. Halsey feel completely out of place, and everything just has that cheap sci-fi show vibe to it. Honestly, if they called Master Chief something else like Big Armor Man and slightly changed his look, this could have been an entirely different show. Next, the show does not follow the video game canon. Speaking of being an entirely different show, one of the biggest pitfalls of Halo is the fact that it just does not follow the video game canon at all. The show has a completely separate story in a different universe, and while there are many elements that it borrows from the games, they're limited to mere references and don't add anything substantial to the story. Halo is a franchise with some super deep lore that extends way beyond the video games, so to not use any of that source material and alter key things in the story feels like a weird thing to do. For instance, what's up with the Covenant cozying up with a human? We get that she's the quote-unquote blessed one, but it's still an odd choice, and this is just one of the many things that make the show feel nothing like Halo. Obviously, you can't really adapt a video game story to TV without making any changes since all you do in the games is fight, but when the entire story doesn't seem to line up at all and is full of random plot holes, you've got to take another look, right? Next, Master Chief, more like Master Cheeks. While the Halo franchise doesn't have the most forgiving fanbase in the world, they can still look past story changes that make sense. After all, a new take on the story despite its deviation from the games is still pretty exciting, but when you start to butcher Master Chief's character, now that's one step too far. Master Chief is one of the most beloved video game characters, and part of the reasons why he's so intriguing is the fact that he's super mysterious. In the games, we never see him take off the helmet, and even during story moments, he's a man of few words. The TV adaptation, however, does a complete 180 on this and explores John 117's character in detail. Sure, there's nothing wrong with showing a more human side to our favorite Spartan, since newer Halo games have been slowly inching towards that territory too, but sometimes the show just goes too far and dispels the allure behind the legend that is Master Chief. In the first episode, he takes off his helmet, and for the next few episodes, we barely see him putting it back on. We know that he takes off his helmet out of combat in the novels, but sometimes it feels like the show is just deliberately trying to antagonize the Halo audience. Like in one scene, we see Chief put on his helmet, getting in the Warthog, drive for like 200 meters, and then instantly take it off again. Why would you go through the effort of putting on the iconic helmet if you're just gonna take it off within 10 seconds? If you thought that was bizarre, wait till you hear this one out. In another scene, we just see Master Chief butt naked in front of a mirror. Now, we love Pablo Schreiber, and we're sure that he's worked hard to get jacked for the role, but come on! And not using the Halo soundtrack is kind of blasphemous. Imagine having one of, if not the most iconic soundtrack in all of entertainment, and just not using any of it. Sounds ridiculous, right? Yeah, that's exactly what the Halo TV show is doing as well. The intro sequence of the show starts off with the iconic theme tune, but then randomly cuts off after like 5 seconds, and turns into generic military sci-fi music. This is perhaps the most baffling creative choice that the showrunners have made. Nothing speaks Halo more than the game's iconic soundtrack with its perfectly curated music for every situation. It would have made sense if they changed things up a bit by adding new music for the more story-heavy moments, which is what the latest game, Halo Infinite, does as well. But to completely detach yourself from the original soundtrack just seems like a recipe for disaster. Not even during some of the most heroic moments in battle do we get anything other than generic sci-fi music. And since music goes a long way in conveying the vibe of a show, this makes everything feel completely off. Even if they'd only added the song like Warthog Run when Silver Team is heading into battle, it would have completely transformed the show. Also, some of the CGI in the show feels super cheap. As we've said before, there's nothing inherently wrong with the visuals of the show. Everything from the UNSC and Covenant ships to the Spartan armor feels pretty authentic and is unashamedly Halo, but making a sci-fi show isn't the easiest thing in the world, especially when you have to show aliens and humans fighting each other, and the Halo TV show stumbles right into this trap as well. It seems like the show just did not have enough budget for high-quality CGI that's believable. Some of the Covenant soldiers like the Elites and Jackals look downright cartoonish and out of place. Not only that, but there's something strange about the way Master Chief and other Spartans move in battle. We know they're supposed to be faster and stronger than the average human, but it seems like the show struggles to translate those abilities to live-action medium. Sometimes they seem super sluggish and slow, but other times it feels like they're weightless, shifting around the scene. There's a strange uncanny valley feel to Cortana as well, who looks like a human but is animated. Perhaps making her blue to look more like an AI would have done the trick. And Quan Ha's character serves no purpose in the Halo story. Halo starts off with Chief rescuing Quan Ha from the Covenant on planet Madrigal, but even after knowing the Covenant is an actual threat that the UNSC is fighting, she continues to push for her quest of freeing Madrigal. And when Master Chief asks Soren to keep her safe, she still insists on going back to her planet and joining the Resistance. Of course, when she gets there, she finds out that the Resistance isn't even real, but for some weird reason, she continues to put everyone's lives in jeopardy. Our point is that not only does her character have some of the dullest moments in the series, but her motivations don't make sense at all, and we just wish that her character arc didn't have to drag out for no reason. But Halo can still redeem itself. All these things we've mentioned can be incredibly frustrating for any fan, but if you remove yourself from the mindset and watch Halo as just another show on your TV, it honestly isn't that bad. Yes, it does not feel like the games and has all these flaws with the characters not feeling like their video game counterparts, but the show still has a lot of redeeming qualities. For instance, we finally saw some incredible fighting action in episode 5 of the show that just felt right. It was unmistakably Halo brought to life, so it does seem like the show is ramping up and getting better with each episode, and at this pace, we'll probably see the fall of Reach and the Halo rings soon as well. And maybe, just maybe, things will slot back into place when we get to that point. For now though, all we can do is hope. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think that fans are right to criticize Halo, or is the show good enough as it is? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one!